You are now listening to the Infinite Moment Podcast. Welcome to episode 3 of the Infinite Moment Podcast. And today we will be discussing the benefits of CBD. In this podcast, I attempt to address the causes of and solutions to our everyday stress. I rely on articles and studies to gain an understanding on how stress affects every one of us and what our best options are for reducing it. Together, we learn and are encouraged to implement the solutions that are revealed as we continue to broaden our understanding of stress. This podcast is powered by DissolveStress.com for all your stress relief needs. Alright, so today we're talking about the benefits of CBD. CBD comes from the cannabis plant. It is federally legal. It's legal in all 50 states. Now, CBD is not psychoactive. So when you think of cannabis, a lot of people think of the psychoactive effects that THC offers us. But CBD interacts with our body differently than THC. What's important to understand is that we have an endocannabinoid system that allows our bodies to interact naturally with compounds from the cannabis plant. Now, the cannabis plant offers many compounds that interacts with our endocannabinoid system in different ways. Today, we will primarily take a look at how CBD interacts with our bodies, but we'll also compare a little bit with the differences between CBD and THC. But understand there's also other compounds in the cannabis plant other than CBD and THC. Alright, so as always, we're going to take a look at a couple different studies and articles today to gain an understanding on how CBD interacts with our bodies. So this first article that we're going to take a look at is in the Health Canal. It's titled 24 Benefits of CBD Oil, 2023 research backed. And it's written by Lindsay DeSoto. This is from April 6, 2023. So let's start here where it says CBD is the second most abundant chemical compound found in the cannabis plant. Many people understandably mix up medical marijuana and CBD. While medical marijuana contains CBD, most of the CBD oils we use today come from the hemp plant, a cousin of the marijuana plant. One of the main differences between marijuana and CBD is the delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, which is THC content. THC is the primary active ingredient in marijuana and has psychoactive properties which produces a high when ingested. CBD contains little to no traces of THC. Therefore, it does not cause any feelings of euphoria in users. However, you'll still get many of the same benefits with CBD as you would with THC, such as pain management, improving mood, and alleviating cancer-related symptoms. CBD oil is made by extracting CBD from the hemp plant and diluting it with a carrier oil such as hemp seed oil. Hemp seed oil is free of cannabinoids, thus the name carrier. Many of the proposed benefits of CBD are associated with its interaction with the body's endocannabinoid system, sometimes known as ECS. The ECS works to ensure the body remains in balance by producing chemicals similar to those found in the cannabis plant called endocannabinoids. The ECS and its receptors are found everywhere throughout our bodies, including our nervous system, immune system, bloodstream, and brain cells. It may control our mood, appetite, stress levels, pain, inflammation, and more. When we consume CBD, it is thought to be absorbed by our ECS and transported to different receptors within the body to provide certain benefits. With that being said, researchers are still working to fully understand how CBD works with the body's ECS. Okay, so from this first section of this article, we can see how CBD and THC are similar in the ways that they provide effects to our body, but also different. We read a little bit how the plants are very similar, not exactly the same, but are basically considered cousins. And they talk a little bit about the ECS, or the endocannabinoid system, and how it's basically present throughout our entire body. So then we can see why both CBD and THC would have such effects throughout our entire body. So let's continue. All right, so we're going to start to take a look at some of the potential benefits for CBD. We're not going to go through all of them, but I want to go through some that are primarily related to stress, anxiety, pain relief, things like that. All right, so right here, CBD for anxiety and depression. CBD is often touted for its ability to relieve anxiety and depression. Thus far, studies appear promising. According to one review from 2020 of 6 small randomized controlled trials, one case study, and one case series, CBD effectively relieved anxiety in otherwise healthy individuals with various anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders included in the review were generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, and anxiety related to post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. Researchers administered CBD via capsule or sublingual spray in doses ranging from 6 milligrams to 300 milligrams. Overall, the review concluded CBD to be a promising alternative treatment for anxiety and anxiety-related disorders. However, the review suggests we need more studies to standardize treatment methods and dosing to evaluate effectiveness further. Another study looked at the effectiveness of repeated CBD treatment on 37, 18, and 19-year-old Japanese teenagers with social anxiety disorder. Participants were either given 300 milligrams of CBD or a placebo daily over 4 weeks. Study results found that those who consumed CBD had significantly reduced anxiety compared to the placebo group. Okay, so there's some studies just taking a look at how CBD can help with anxiety and depression. Again, the studies are limited, but there's a little bit of research, and mostly, I would say, there's a lot of testimonials. It's one of those things where it's low levels of risk, so you can really try for yourself to see how it benefits you. Now let's go down here where it says CBD for stress reduction. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse statement, CBD has shown effectiveness in reducing stress in animal studies. Additionally, in one small study, CBD reduced anxiety associated with a stressful public speaking task. Overall, it appears CBD's stress-relieving properties are directly associated with the ability to combat anxiety. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence in addition to scientific research to suggest CBD may promote healthy sleep patterns. One large case series observed the effects of CBD in 72 adults with anxiety and sleep disorders. Sleep scores improved in 48 of the patients within the first month of CBD use. However, the results fluctuated over time. Of note, CBD was overall well tolerated. 3 patients reported a mild sedative effect produced by CBD. Okay, so that's just a further study on how CBD can overall reduce stress and also sleeping patterns or behavior. And it also kind of mentions how CBD is overall well tolerated. It doesn't have too many risk factors. Okay, I'm going to go down here where it says CBD for nerve pain relief. An estimated 7% of the population suffers from neuropathic pain caused by nerve damage. Most research associated with CBD's impact on relieving nerve pain centers around combinations of THC and CBD rather than CBD alone. Many people believe that CBD helps slow pain signals from the nerves to the brain. This is because CBD indirectly stimulates CB1 and CB2 receptors. When these receptors become stimulated, the signals sent from the nerves decrease, resulting in pain relief. These receptors can also reduce inflammation in the body. Nerve pain is often related to autoimmune disorders and inflammation, so lowering the body's inflammatory response may also relieve nerve pain. Additionally, the European Journal of Experimental Medicine highlights that CBD may reduce inflammation and neuropathic pain by targeting the body's A3 glycan receptors. Alright, so they're discussing how CBD interacts with our endocannabinoid systems by stimulating certain receptors known as CB1 and CB2. Also, it discusses how many times CBD and THC are studied when used together. That's important because there's different combinations when you are taking a CBD product. It may be a full tincture or a isolate. It can have only certain parts of the cannabis plant in it and not others. It may have terpenes. But yes, that's one of the factors that you should consider when taking CBD products. Okay, right here, CBD for PTSD. In addition to reducing fear commonly associated with PTSD, CBD may reduce other symptoms related to the disease. According to a retrospective case series published by the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, CBD proved effective at relieving symptoms and improving nightmares in patients with PTSD. Of note, CBD was combined with traditional treatments such as medications and dietary changes. So that's interesting. That probably should be studied more, how CBD and PTSD work together, how CBD can potentially be a useful tool to reducing the effects or the causes or issues associated with PTSD. Okay, so here's another one, CBD for mood improvement. Many CBD users report improvement in mood and mood-related disorders. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter primarily related to mood. Low serotonin levels are associated with depression. According to a study from 2018, CBD may act on multiple brain pathways affecting mood-regulating chemicals such as serotonin. CBD activated serotonin receptors, leading to improved mood. So that's interesting. Not only has CBD been studied for anxiety, pain relief, PTSD, but also for mood improvement. So it's multifaceted. Again, many studies still there that can take place, but again, it's low risk, so you can kind of almost gauge how CBD affects and works with your body. The last thing we'll take a look at in this article is right here. It says, CBD is generally considered safe for users. However, users may experience mild side effects, such as tiredness, diarrhea, changes in appetite, changes in weight. CBD may also interact with certain prescription medications, dietary supplements, and over-the-counter drugs. So again, that's just discussing how safe CBD relatively is. Tiredness, changes in appetite, weight, even diarrhea, relatively non-serious things to worry about. So again, general rule is to kind of gauge, start low, and see how CBD interacts with your own body. Alright, so again, that was an article from the Health Canal. Gives us a little bit of oversight of how CBD can potentially work with our bodies, what it can provide, how it interacts with our bodies through the endocannabinoid system and the CB1 and CB2 receptors. Again, all throughout the immune system, different functions of our body, these receptors are present, and depending on how we take CBD, because it can be a topical, it can be ingested as a tincture. So there's multiple ways that CBD can be taken, and depending on how it's taken, it will interact with our endocannabinoid system in different ways, which will ultimately lead to it interacting and giving different effects based on what we're taking the CBD for in the first place. It's also important to bring up that not only do we have endocannabinoid systems, but certain animals have endocannabinoid systems in their bodies as well, such as dogs. So CBD can affect the bodies of certain animals as well. That's important to keep in mind. There were other health conditions listed in that article that I did not go through. I am going to post the link. As always, the articles and studies that we go through, I post the links in the description. So be sure to check that out if you want to kind of go through the other ones. It's not to say that CBD is a cure for all of these conditions, but there's studies and there's research that's being done to see the potential that it is having. And especially like childhood seizures have been shown, CBD has been shown to have some promising effects there. Again, I just kind of wanted to cover some of the areas that I'm more focused on when it comes to relief, such as anxiety, sleep, mood improvement, things such as that. So that's why I took a look at those. But we're going to go into another article here next. This article is titled All About CBD for Anxiety. It is by Cian Ferguson from June 4th, 2021. While the properties of CBD are still being studied, many use it to manage their anxiety. So the question they pose is, does CBD help with anxiety? Many people claim CBD helps with anxiety, but what does the research say? CBD's effects have been studied on people with social anxiety disorder. A 2010 study looked at the effects of CBD on 10 people with social anxiety disorder, and participants were either given 400 milligrams of CBD or a placebo. The participants who received CBD had reduced anxiety levels. A 2018 study gave participants either CBD or a placebo before they did a public speaking test. Those who received 300 milligrams of CBD before the test had reduced anxiety, but those who received a placebo, 150 milligrams of CBD or 600 milligrams of CBD, didn't seem to experience reduced anxiety. It's worth noting that this study didn't involve people with anxiety disorders or other mental health conditions. It was looking at anxiety as a symptom, not as a condition. Anxiety and insomnia often go hand in hand. One study looked at the effects of CBD on people with anxiety and or sleeplessness. Anxiety seemed to decrease in nearly 4 in 5 participants, and sleep improved in about 2 of every 3 participants, suggesting that CBD might be able to help with both anxiety and sleep issues. Lastly, a review of literature looked at multiple studies on CBD and post-traumatic stress disorder, which can cause anxiety symptoms. It found that CBD could help with symptoms of PTSD, but needs to be studied further. The review noted CBD has fewer side effects than medication that's commonly used to treat PTSD. So let's talk about how to use CBD for anxiety. If you want to use CBD for anxiety, there are a few different options. CBD comes in the form of oils and tinctures, edibles, including gummies, chocolates, and savory snacks, vapes, smokable CBD hemp flower, beverages, and topicals such as creams, lotions, and body oils. When you use a CBD topical, little to no CBD will actually absorb into your bloodstream, which means that it's not a suitable method for an internal issue like anxiety. CBD topicals are usually used for pain, inflammation, and skin conditions like acne. Most of the studies mentioned above use CBD taken orally, either via CBD oil or capsules. There is no clear evidence that suggests one method is necessarily better than the other. So again, that's important to keep in mind. How you choose to take CBD will determine the effect that it has on your body. If you're targeting a muscle pain, you may choose a CBD topical, whereas if you're going more for anxiety relief, you may want to go with a tincture or some sort of edible. It goes on to say, it's difficult to tell which dosage of CBD you should try if you're trying to improve your anxiety. The dosage of CBD will likely depend on your weight, metabolism, and individual biology. The general rule with CBD and THC is to start low and go slow. This means using a small amount per day, say 10 or 20 milligrams, and gradually increasing it until you feel some relief. That way you end up at the lowest dose and thus lowest chance of side effects that gives benefit. Again, everyone's body is different, so you can find the amount that works best for you. But it's just important to start low if you aren't familiar with CBD and kind of work up from there. Okay, so that article was primarily focusing on CBD being used for anxiety relief. Also, again, mentioned PTSD, and it also gave us a glimpse on how to determine how much CBD we should use, and also the way in which we administer the CBD to our body. So some beneficial insights. Again, we didn't go through everything within that article, but I hit on the topics and the sections that I felt was most relevant to what we're discussing here. Again, we're delving into stress relief techniques. So we're looking at CBD to be used as a tool primarily for stress relief, improvement of mood, improvement of sleep, and relief from anxiety and stress. With that being said, we're going to actually take a look at some of the CBD products that are offered on dissolvestress.com, which is the e-commerce website that powers this podcast. All right, so we're going to take a look at 5 different CBD products. The first one we're going to take a look at is a CBD massage oil. So just take a look at that right there. Camera's not picking it up great, but this one, as you can see, is an organic CBD massage oil. It's 500 milligrams per bottle. This right here says full spectrum. All right, that's important when you're taking a CBD product to know if it's full spectrum or if it's an isolate. Now, when it comes to full spectrum products, you have what's known as the entourage effect, which means that all of those compounds within the cannabis plant are believed to work better together. And there's some studies that have been done to try and prove this than just the CBD isolate alone. Some people may still want to choose only to have products of just that CBD. Maybe they've determined that they don't like the way THC interacts with their body and they don't want any amount, any percent. So they may choose an isolate. But you can do your own research to understand the differences between isolates and full spectrum products. All right, so on this product, again, this is a CBD massage oil. Simple ingredients: organic MCT oil and organic hemp extract. It says contains less than 0.3% THC. Also, this is by Joy Organics. You can look into Joy Organics. They make very high quality CBD products. I've used all of these products myself and they work very well. So this is a massage oil. It will be applied to your skin. Mostly, this is something you would want to use for muscle pains. All right, the next topical we're going to take a look at is another product from Joy Organics. Again, this is offered on dissolvestress.com. This one is a CBD salve. I'm trying to show you that. Again, it's a little bit grainy, but this is a product from Joy Organics, organic CBD salve. This one has 500 milligrams in this jar, and this one is scented. The massage oil was unscented. This is scented with lavender and eucalyptus. Another thing to keep in mind, CBD may often be mixed with certain scents. So if you prefer unscented, be sure to pay attention to see if that product you're purchasing is unscented or if it's scented with something such as like lavender or eucalyptus. So it lists the ingredients again here on the side. Now they've listed on the back here, our process. Each ingredient in this formula is meticulously sourced for both purity and quality. Third-party lab results are available and they give you a QR code. So that's one of the important things when you're looking for quality CBD, because there's so many different places and ways to buy CBD. You want to be sure that if you're putting something in your body, that you feel that you're putting something safe in your body. So having third-party lab results available is a very safe way to understand what you're putting in your body. You can scan this QR code on the back of the product and it'll give you results of this particular lot that this came from. And then over here it also lists the suggested use. It says to apply a small amount to the skin and rub in thoroughly as needed throughout the day, and store away from light, heat, and humidity. Alright, this next one is another topical. This one is a CBD cream, premium CBD cream. We'll try and show it. Alright, again, not the clearest quality, but nonetheless. This one's unscented. It has 250 milligrams of CBD in this bottle. It lists the ingredients, the lab results, and the suggested use. So for this product, you pump until product dispenses and apply a small amount to skin and rub in thoroughly as needed throughout the day. Okay, so that's a cream. Again, another topical. It's just going to be a different mix, so the consistency will be a little bit different. And some people may feel that they like creams over salves, over oils. You have to determine what works best with your skin, with your body, what absorbs best. But again, full spectrum product. This one's unscented. Another way to apply CBD for muscle aches, pains, things like that. Okay, now the next one we're going to take a look at is going to be a tincture, a full spectrum tincture that is taken orally. Okay, so suggested use: adults take 1 dropper full 1 or more times daily. Put in mouth and swallow. Again, store away from light, heat, and humidity. Shake well before use. Okay, so this one's taken orally. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not only can CBD be used for the human body, but some animals also have an endocannabinoid system, meaning CBD will work within their bodies as well. So this CBD oil is a pet formula. Similar to the CBD oil that we just discussed for adults, this one has a dropper. It says for dog and cat use. It's a 3.75 milligram CBD per quarter dropper. Now, obviously, animals are different than humans. Even though we both have an endocannabinoid system, the way it affects our bodies and how much is the right dosage can differ widely. So be sure when giving your pet, such as your dog or cat, CBD, be sure not to overdose them. Start on the low end, and if you feel that you need to go up from there, carefully increase the dosage. One of the reasons you may want to use CBD for pets, a good example is dogs during July 4th. Fireworks causes anxiety for many dogs. So a CBD oil for a dog would be a great thing to try in that situation. So we're going to go back to an article. Alright, in this article they're addressing what is the correct dosage of CBD. And it's by Jessica Caporuschio. Cannabidiol, which is CBD, is available in many forms, including oils, tablets, and creams. The ideal dosages vary depending on both its form and usage. The dosage that a person takes will depend on the method of administration that they are using and the specific product. Methods of administration include CBD oil solutions, CBD capsules, tablets that a person places under the tongue, and nasal sprays. Recently, a wider range of products containing CBD has become available. These items include food products, dietary supplements, cosmetics, and animal health products. Several factors may influence the dosage that people can take. Depending on the medical condition or the reason why a person is taking CBD, they will need a different dosage. Some people need high dosages to control epilepsy, whereas smaller dosages may be effective for anxiety. This last article we're going to take a look at is titled Key Differences to Know About CBD versus THC, and it's by Jamie R. Herndon. Cannabidiol, which is CBD, and delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, which is THC, are distinct compounds found in cannabis plants that each affect different receptors in the brain. THC is psychoactive, meaning that it affects your mood, perception, and other mental processes. It produces the high effects of marijuana. CBD is not psychoactive. It won't get you high, but it can still have side effects like making you feel relaxed. CBD is a cannabinoid compound found in the cannabis plant. It does not produce a high because it does not have THC in it. It can produce relaxation or sleepiness. It has antioxidant, which neutralizes destructive oxygen-free radicals in cells, and anti-inflammatory properties. Here's a quick chart showing the differences between CBD and THC. So the source of CBD are aerial parts of the cannabis plant, such as the stalk, leaves, flower, and can be derived from low THC hemp. The source of THC are the leaves and the flowering part of the cannabis plant. The psychoactive effects of CBD is there is no high, but it can promote relaxation and reduce anxiety and depression. The psychoactive effects of THC are euphoria, heightened senses, changes in time perception. The medicinal effects of CBD are anti-seizure effect, pain relief, and reducing inflammation. The medicinal effects of THC is tachycardia, which is increased heart rate, and increased appetite. The legality of CBD is technically legal federally. State legality depends on the state. Legality of THC is not legal federally, and state legality varies by state. CBD is not detected on drug tests, but if the preparation has any THC in it, that could be detected. And THC is detected on drug tests. So although we can see CBD and THC can have similar benefits, there are some differences that you may want to take a look at to see if any of that affects you. Okay, so the types of CBD include whole plant CBD, which uses all of the hemp compounds but is usually too thick for general use. Full spectrum CBD contains none of the waxes or oils from whole plant CBD but has traces of THC. Broad spectrum CBD contains no THC but has other cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. And then pure CBD isolates contain only CBD, no THC, and no other compounds. So in summary, they say while CBD and THC are from the same plant, the cannabis plant, they are very different. Both can increase relaxation and sleepiness, improve mood, and relieve pain, but CBD does not have the same psychoactive properties that THC does. Okay, so we took a look at several articles. We talked about the differences between CBD and THC, the effects that it can have on our body via the endocannabinoid system, how to determine a good dosage for you, and how to administer the CBD based on the benefits that you are looking to have. We also know that there's more studies that can be done to determine how CBD affects the body. and also how CBD affects the bodies of our pets, primarily dogs and cats. So when we supplement with products such as CBD, we're just trying to help regulate those hormones, the interaction. Maybe we're trying to increase that interaction so that we experience certain benefits. We discussed the risk that may be there. Again, very low risk. Things such as tiredness. You can use this in conjunction with other stress relief techniques as well. Use a massage oil, and then afterwards you can use a massager to work it into the skin even better. All right, so that concludes this episode of the Infinite Moment podcast, the benefits of CBD, and I will catch you guys next time. Take it easy.